What do you get when you take a team full of transfers and throw them all together in the Big 12? What you get is the fastest team in the country. TCU is currently in the top 25, has some very notable wins, and is number 1 in the nation in transition scoring per game. So what we're going to do in this video is break down what makes them so elite in transition, and hopefully some of the keys that you'll see in this video will help you understand the game more and also help your team. So the first thing that needs to be pointed out that I think is the most obvious is their speed. Watching them on TV doesn't do them justice, and if you ever have the chance, you need to try and see them live because the majority of the guys in the rotation are flat out athletes. They just beat people up and down the court like it's a track meet. But when I say speed, I also mean the speed at which they transition from defense to offense. And they do this one thing that allows them to push the ball up the court faster than most people, and we're going to look at that right after I tell you about the sponsor of this video. Coaches, if you're looking for a new customizable board, then Hoops King is the place for you. Their website is easy to navigate and you can customize your board down to the most personal details. And having a two-sided feature will allow you to keep track of everything that you need to come game time. And you can select your line options. So whether you're in high school, college, or the NBA, there's a board just for you, which is one of the reasons the Los Angeles Lakers purchased their boards from Hoops King. And I can personally guarantee you that the logo that you customize on the website will look exactly the same way in person, if not better. And they guarantee swift delivery, so you'll have your new board within 10 days of ordering. The link to their website is in the description, or just type in hoopsking.com. TCU's secret formula is early pitch aheads. And what that means is when somebody grabs a rebound, instead of them pushing it themselves or starting the break with a dribble, they look for somebody who's out running in front of them to pitch it ahead because the ball is always going to move faster on the pass than it will on the dribble. And that creates these one-on-one situations where they're able to convert at a high percentage or get fouled. And this is why that one pass is so important. On the rebound, look where the majority of the defenders are standing. And so with this one early pitch ahead, now the ball is in front of 4 out of the 5 defensive players, which means the one safety who's back is going to have to take ball, and it leads to this easy layup. And you can tell from watching them that this is a discipline that they all have. On this rebound, Coles almost looks up the court for an early pitch ahead before his feet hit the ground, and that's what leads to this on-time, on-target pass for an easy run out. And this is why they move the ball up the court so fast. On this steal, Coles is already looking for someone to throw it ahead to. He finds Miller. Miller takes one bounce, and then he sees Nelson's up ahead of him, so he pitches it to him, and they get the ball up the court in 4 seconds on one dribble. So you might not have the athletes that TCU does, but anybody can adopt this philosophy just by having the discipline to look to throw that ball ahead in transition. Now, something that Coach Dixon teaches that I think goes against the grain in today's game is putting pressure on the paint. Because of the NBA and the success of the Golden State Warriors, most teams have their guys run to the perimeter and they might have a big run to the rim, but they want to run in transition and shoot perimeter jumpers. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, and I'm also not saying that TCU doesn't do that themselves, but they attack the rim. Most teams in this situation would have their guards run dead to the corner to space the court and potentially get an open 3. That's not what TCU is about. And they shoot 35% as a team from 3, which is a pretty good percentage, but they're only making 6.5 a game. And the reason why is because they want to take 2s over 3s, because the 2s that they're getting are right at the rim and in transition. And there's a reason why they're scoring 22 points a game in transition, because they put pressure on the rim and it's working for them. And one of the keys to that pressure is not just making the first shot, but getting your offensive rebound. TCU does a great job of also getting second chance makes off of transition. So if you're a team that doesn't shoot it great, don't abandon transition altogether. Maybe look to take this out of TCU's playbook. And like I said before, TCU still shoots transition 3s, but the focus is putting pressure on the paint first. So they do a great job of driving to paint, collapsing the defense, and if they don't have a layup, that's when they look to shoot these kick out 3s, and most of the time they're uncontested and in rhythm because they collapse the defense first so that when they do kick it out, it's wide open. And the final key is this: live ball turnovers. TCU isn't just great offensively in transition, they're very active defensively. And because of that, they get a lot of live ball steals. And why this is important is because on this steal, notice the advantage the offense has. They have already created the 3-on-2 advantage just by getting a live ball steal. And like we talked about before, because they anticipate this change of possession so well, as soon as that ball is stolen, your turnover has turned into 2 points the other direction. And I think it could easily be missed that they're not only active defensively, but they are so skilled when it comes to passing and finishing. And they make it look easy, but guarding the way that they do and playing in transition at the speed that they play at, while having only been teammates for a few months because most of these guys are transfers, is extremely impressive and it's fun to watch. So as you watch these last few possessions, pay attention to how these live ball turnovers are what create the advantage in the first place. If you want to be a good transition team, you have to be committed to getting stops and finding opportunities to get steals. If you enjoyed this video, would you hit that like button for me? It really does help the algorithm push this video out to a bunch of other people. And as always, thanks for coming through. We'll see you next time in the film room.